are here with a dynamic duo, childhood friends turned musical collaborators. Their sound blends R&B, soul, rock, folk into a sound all of their own. Their stage presence, electric. Their recording, professional and crisp. Some of y'all are familiar with them. Some of y'all are being introduced. Either way, we are here to welcome the one, the only, the InGlorious.
What's good, y'all?
What's up?
Beautiful introduction.
Thank you for joining us. So this is my introduction to everybody. Y'all just heard me loudly yell a whole bunch of adjectives, but how would y'all describe yourselves?
That's a good question.
We start off deep.
Describe ourselves, our music. Describe ourselves.
Both and.
Okay. Music, I feel, is maybe a little bit easier, a little bit shorter for me. I feel like our music is alternative R&B. Sometimes lately I've been thinking in my mind it's like existential R&B a little bit because it definitely has the roots of like songs about love and relationships and stuff like that. But there also is there's somewhat of a philosophical element to it. There's somewhat of like existential, that's my new like thing I'm playing with. Okay. Existential R&B.
Existential R&B.
We were talking about that last night. I feel the same. Okay. You know what I mean? I mostly, what I tell people mostly is like alternative R&B mixed in with a little bit of folk, mixed in with a little bit of, gospel elements. Yeah. And everything in between. That's what
Yeah. So there's this place where y'all blend genres musically to create what is the InGlorious sound. Existential, which speaks to the depth of your lyrics and the ways in which y'all are introspective. Right. So now we have a sense of the music. How would y'all introduce yourselves?
I will introduce myself. What's up, y'all? I'm Kyle. I'm a musician, a passionate musician, a music lover. I'm a lover of people. I'm an educator. I'm somebody that likes to tell stories with sound, and I think that's it. There's more to it, but I think that's a good summation. I think. Yeah.
And again, I am Stacey Hargum. And me, I think I'm a lover of the music as well. Lover of people for sure. And just an all around lover of life and the experience. I like to think of myself as somewhat of a decoder, just kind of processing what's going on, processing what people say to me, processing my own experiences, and kind of putting back out and creating relationships and family and community, and you know what I mean. That's how I feel as a person. Yes. That's what I feel rooted in.
Yeah. The crossover that I heard was the lover of music, the lover of people.
For sure.
And I think the thing that is clear, even in the few moments that we've been together already, is that there's a depth that y'all carry. Tell me how that impacts you personally, but also how it impacts y'all as a group, that lover of people and the depth that both y'all function with.
I think it affects the way we approach with intention. I think it's very critical for the both of us that what we're saying is clear, it's understood by people, and they also feel heard. They feel seen, and it all gets tied together. Like we're all the same. We're all part of the same thing. We're all having different experiences, but at the same time. But I think it's mostly about the intention we take and the care we take on what we're saying and how we're saying it and how we want it to be received.
Yeah, we're big on storytelling, like telling our own stories, but then even if in our artistry we're like telling a story that isn't 100% our own personal lived experience, you have to try to understand somebody else's experience or even emulate it or something like that. So music is just really, really personal. So I think being people-centered, I think we are people-centered people.
For sure.
And so that really comes out in the music. Like sometimes we're in the studio, we're like, yo, when they hear this part, they're gonna feel this. Like we have very specific intentions for how we want the audience to feel at a certain moment in the album, and even if it doesn't happen that way, even if it strikes somebody a different way, because everybody's different, we definitely move with that intention. We're very people centered music, and we try to touch on different topics and areas and stuff like that. So it's not always. Our music is not always self-indulgent.
Yeah.
It's not always
Most of the time it's not.
Yeah, it's not always just us like navel gazing or like just like, oh, this is how I'm feeling all the time. Sometimes it's like we're trying to tell a story to make the other person feel something or try to, something like that.
So it sounds like y'all start with the intention. How do I want this to land? What message am I trying to build? And then from there, that creates the rest of the process.
Yeah. Sometimes the process is entirely musical. Like sometimes music is its own thing. So sometimes it's like, oh, that sounds hot.
Yeah.
Or I like the way that sounds, or that scratches a musical itch in our brain. But it's always followed by like, what does this mean? What is this going to mean?
Right.
So sometimes something organically happens musically, but then we always try to find a reason why. Like, all right, what is this going to be for? We try to assign a purpose to it after it's already like come from the grand musical library of ideas that we
or find the purpose that was already assigned.
That was already there, or it's like, decoding.
The great decoding.
You see that? Yeah. You see it?
Yeah. And that's where the intention comes in, that there is a level of creation that is for art's sake. And then when it comes to releasing, when it comes to the consumption of the art, then we see the intention. Yeah. Because y'all are so intentional, I imagine there's deep intention behind the name, the InGlorious.
Of course.
Can y'all tell us that story?
Yes, we can. And it's funny because the InGlorious, the name came from like, oh, that sounds kind of good, but what does it mean? And then we kind of figured out what it meant. So it's funny, the name kind of happened the same way some of our music happens. But Ace came up with the name. We were on the phone. I don't remember what year. It was like maybe 2015, 2014, something like that. But we had the name, and then the meaning of it kind of grew. We kind of conceptualized it as we were going, but still pretty early on. So it's connected with our logo. The logo is of a wreath, and one side of that wreath is burned and dead, quote unquote dead, and then another side of the wreath is like flourishing and alive. So InGlorious is a word that means shameful, or I think it means like something shameful, but it's usually stylized with a capital G for InGlorious. And so it's kind of a meaning about balance.
Yeah, it's the balance of all things.
Yeah, it's a balance. So
especially humans.
You can look at it from the perspective of, like, for me, I take it from the perspective of faith, of my faith. As a believer and as a Christian, how it hits me is, I'm InGlorious. I believe that all people are sinners, or we're all imperfect, but I have been glorified, in my faith. And so, and there's this other side to me too. And so that's how it hits me. And then it also hits me when I look at life. Like, I have these times in my life that are that can be very tough and very difficult. But then sometimes some very beautiful things can come out of those times as well, or they can lead me to a beautiful place. So it really can apply to a lot of different things, but that balance is kind of I think the main thematic element of the of the logo and of the name.
Yeah. So it is that, again, that duality.
For sure.
We are glorious. We are in glory.
Yes.
But then also there is those parts of our life that we deal with that aren't our highlight reels, that aren't the things that we readily show. And if we can, we'll put your logo up on the screen. So that wreath, which is half of it is not the prettiest thing, and then half of it is flourishing, and that is balance. For sure. Let's continue the transition. Y'all been friends for a really long time.
We have
Forever.
since we were babies. Since we were babies. I don't know the exact age, but probably like 1 to 2, something like that.
1, 2. Oh, that's. We ain't gonna say that. How does
long ago.
How does y'all friendship impact the artistry and the music that y'all create?
It makes it very easy. Because in creation, in artistry, it's a lot of, there's a lot of super hype times where, oh, that's hot. There's a lot of, a lot of that. But there's also a lot of stagnation. There's also a lot of doubt. There's also a lot of uncertainty. And through all of that, a friendship, a deep friendship, a brotherhood that we would call it. It makes it very easy to feel those deep places, feel the lows, and appreciate the highs more. It's just everything it makes it all more of an appreciation for the experience, for the journey. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it. Vulnerability is the word that came to my mind. There is a high level of vulnerability with us personally, but then artistically too, because artistry is very it's sensitive. So like it's when you're out and when we're presenting to the world, there's a version of the InGlorious that you see, and there's music that you hear that we think is amazing, we think is great. But there's only a few people that I would want to let hear my trash, the ideas that I think are trash, or like that I'm like, I'm not sure about this, but whatever. So he gets all of that. So we hear all of we hear the good stuff, we hear the bad stuff, and that is that vulnerability is key to like getting to a good place, because I don't want everybody. You feel it the most when you're in the studio with other artists,
for sure,
because I might not be as relaxed, or I might not be maybe sometimes even as willing to try a certain musical idea, or me sing something or whatever, because you're like, you're with somebody else and you might feel self-conscious, but very low level of self-consciousness with him. So
yeah, that's beautiful. The brotherhood creates the safety to be vulnerable. And then I imagine that vulnerability both allows y'all to push past the first idea and delve deeper into that idea, or also develop ideas further. I'm able to write this song. I'm able to experience this emotion because my brother's here, because I know that safety's in the room with me.
Yeah. You're good at like taking what we said and just like,
hey man, that's $100,000 of education.
There you go.
This is a good place to take a break. The people, check out our sponsor. The people. We are excited to be sponsored by the law offices of Diane Barr. With compassionate and professional service and over 30 years of experience, you want to trust your care to professionals. Whether it's Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy, they are phenomenal and they are working to get you back together. So check the link in our description for more information and meet us there on June 20th so you can get your service done together. So we talked about the development of the brotherhood, but I want to spend some time in the long ago with y'all. I've also known y'all for a long time.
Yeah, you're in the long ago.
Yeah, I'm in the long time. And because of that, I know some of the legacy that's sitting on this couch. I know the legacy of creativity on this couch. I have seen some of the early moments, but I want to hear from y'all perspective. What are some of y'all early moments in artistry where you kind of had a sense that I am an artist, or at very least I'm trying to be an artist?
I think for me it was very early. I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, because my dad is a professional musician. He's been a touring musician. He's been a studio session musician for a long time, still is, and an educator. My musical experience growing up was just like a all encapsulating thing. So I thought very early that I wanted to be, and of course we all want to be like, the people around us that inspire us, the father figures and different things like that. So I wanted to be like my father, and music was right there all around me. So it was a simple decision. I can remember back as early as 5, 6, me in my room thinking about, different things to put together. And then around 8 or 9, it was like, okay, I'm writing my own stuff. I'm playing with different ideas. I'm, branching out, reaching out. And then by high school, it was, Kyle had been through his, and he'll explain, but, a lot of us had been through a certain amount of hours that we put in and exploration that we put in, and it started to really come together and flower. So that's just what it was for me.
Yeah. So for you, it's a continuation of the legacy.
For sure.
You were born into a very creative family, and from a very young age, this is what you saw.
Yeah. And it didn't feel like, how sometimes some people are born into a family business and there's resistance or different things like that. And I'm not saying it's a family business because he didn't make me, but it was very much like, oh, I want this too. Like I feel this very deeply. So yeah.
It's dope. How about you, Kyle? What are some of the early creative memories?
Yeah, for me, I in some ways kind of siphoned off energy from his dad and his family and in the church environment that we grew up in. And that's kind of what connected us. But even before that, I didn't grow up in a very musical household, but I asked for a guitar for Christmas when I was 10. And I don't even really remember why I asked for one. But before that, I remember that music always hit me very deeply. Like, I remember I had this maroon CD player, and I used to listen to just these, Fred Hammond had an album that I used to just play over and over again.
Fred is really the one.
Yeah, he's really the one. Like, he's just
Fred
nuts.
is that for me too.
It's nuts. Yeah. But I remember playing this album and sitting in my mom's Kia before I ever asked my first guitar. And I just remember running certain songs back and just sitting in the car and being very emo and existential maybe is another word. Even as a kid, I was like that because music just made me feel that way. And so when I heard a certain song, he had this song called My Father. Fred had this song called My Father Was. And it's a song about how he didn't have a dad, but God became his dad. Yeah. I had a dad, but the song just hit me in such a way that I would just almost relate to it, or he made me feel the way that he felt, I guess, essentially. But and so some of that stuff when I look back on it is hilarious and very silly, but I always connected to music so emotionally very early. And so when I first got my first guitar, it wasn't even about lessons or me learning. It was just about me kind of writing songs immediately, or just kind of this chord sounds how I'm feeling. It kind of happened like that. So that was BS before Stacy, not the BS. That was before Ace. But then as I started playing guitar, I started playing at church. So I'm a church boy, church musician through and through. And so learning how to play music under his dad. So that's when I started to kind of siphon off that musical family energy that comes from Ace's family. And then we're just kind of coming up learning how to sing, how to make music together, how to improvise, how to all those really deeply musical education things that you don't really think about when you're in it. But that's where you cut your teeth, in church. And that's there's such a rich history of that. And I'm very proud that I got to have that and to have it with his dad and grow up with him. So I think that's what tied us together. And we just never let go, I think, from that. And there was other music too that we attached to that wasn't InGlorious with other people, but I think we just never disconnected from that together. So
it's interesting, as you were talking, I saw you sitting in the Kia listening to Father Was, and it made me think that what you felt in that song is your approach to music now. That that song was so powerful that you felt something, and tying it back to how y'all approach music, there's an intentionality that you have of, I want people to feel something.
For sure.
I want to recreate these experiences. Let's talk about some early influences. So obviously Fred, one of the ones.
Yep.
But what are some of y'all early favorites? Those people that when you think about them, you're like, man, that's my favorite. That's the person who influenced this thing in me.
I'll take that first.
Yeah, I'll take that one. I already spoke on my dad, of course.
Also genius. We're going to talk about him more.
Fred for sure for me. Just his tone and his delivery, his expression. And then outside of the general church,
You can get outside the church.
I'm saying you like the because I don't have any really, other than Fred, I don't have anybody that's really like super jumps out as far as the gospel goes. It was just all inclusive. But for me, once we got to high school and I was able to branch out a little bit and let loose of the reins a little bit, Frank Ocean for me was a heavy influence. Still is. Frank, they might call me cliche, but Drake, his honesty, and I'm sure others do too. I relate to some of his, especially early on, like some of his real life experiences and how he fit into the world as a certain type of black man. And then just heavy, I don't know, it's just all of it. Like we used to do this thing where we used to have these put on battles.
That's literally you're taking
fault,
both of my
fault.
hands. No, it's perfect. It's fine.
Where we
we're
used
in
to
the same. We're in the same.
Yeah.
where we used to like weekly just scour the internet for new music and just like at the end of the week or whatever, like just present it to each other, and all of these unique sounds and these unique exchanges is what shaped who I am and what I want, and like almost puts no limits to what we want to achieve musically. And that's I might be over talking and taking some of the answers, but
No, I think that's great. Is there a standout song from those battles that you just remember, like, man, when I found this one, or when Kyle put me on this one, or when so-and-so put me on this one?
It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
it is a lot of them. I think the biggest put on moment we had is when we found James Blake. I think that was that day in my parents' basement in the bigs, like when we was listening to James Blake, that was an experience where we were like, yo, you can do this, like we can you can go here, like it was.
And the context for that is that Stacy's dad had a music studio, a whole music studio built out in his basement, and when he wasn't using it, we were just we was just allowed to be in there just kicking it. Like we had that was a very blessed, like, privileged thing to be able to go in, and we really didn't even take as much advantage as we should have, but we were just able to kick it. Like we were able to kick it. It was great.
That's dope. So then, same question for you. What are those early influences, those standout moments for you?
Right. I really can trace my musical lineage very, like, I can see it. So in my early days as a kid, it was it was all gospel, old school R&B. So before I turned like maybe 9, 10, like I didn't hear a ton of secular music besides like Disney, like Radio Disney and stuff like that. So, but that's a big influence too, because they were cooking too. But so as a kid, it was Fred Hammond's my number one, of course, like Kirk Franklin, Hezekiah Walker, and a lot of gospel greats who like were just on rotation all the time in the house. And then even like acts like Mary Mary, and this is other group called Out of Eden that was way back then. That was like I guess they were like the TLC, I guess, for gospel artists. And then Cross Movement, which was a lot of Christian hip hop. So I feel like my parents were trying to they were trying to like, all right, I don't want them to hear this, but I want them to still get this sound. So like we'll play this or whatever.
Which is funny from your dad, because your dad
and my dad, he had like Get Rich or Die Trying. Like I never even listened to 50 Cent. Like, but he had the CD, and he had the Carter 3 CD in the house and stuff like that. It was just funny. Like my dad is hilarious. But we didn't listen to that until I was about like 9 or 10. So those are the early inspirations. And then once Brian, my older brother, gets this SanDisk MP3 player, and John Legend's on it, Keisha Cole's on it, Kanye's on it, Bobby Valentino's on it. That's when I'm like, oh snap! Like, so I really owe it to him to put me on. Like, Neo's on this SanDisk MP3 player. So now I'm running all these songs back, discovering all like my very favorite early 2000s hip hop and R&B, and Jamie Foxx Unpredictable's on there and stuff like that. And then that's when I started rubbing up against like, oh snap, I don't know if I'm supposed to be listening to this ever, but it was just good. Then this might be one of the most embarrassing. This might be an embarrassing reveal, but the first time I ever heard Jay-Z, somebody gave us, I think it might have been Josh, he gave us a burned CD with Evanescence. Half of it was Evanescence. Shout out to Evanescence, fire. And then half of it was the Hybrid Theory album of Jay-Z and Linkin Park, like those mashup songs that they did.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
I remember that.
I didn't. The first time I heard Jay, it wasn't even like pure Jay. Like, it was the verses, but it was like behind Linkin Park music, because my dad was really big into Linkin Park. Yeah. So when he listened to Linkin Park, we started listening, and that's what kind of branched me out. All right, now I'm branched out to like alternative rock and like some heavier stuff, and so that mixed CD of Evanescence, Jay-Z, and Linkin Park kind of split my brain like in a few different directions, and then you start pursuing those, and then Switchfoot comes along, and Switchfoot was really big for me as a kid. Reliant K. And then
in sync.
Yes, and then he knows. And then boom, high school, 2008, 2009, 2010. So Far Gone, Drake drops, and like and of course Lil Wayne's going crazy during that era, and
Paramore.
And then and then we have the big Paramore era, Fall Out Boy, and My Chemical Romance and stuff like that. So it's a lot. It's too many for me to name, but I can trace it. But those are just a few different names, and I think that influenced our music a lot. And there was a lot of freedom in that. And I found out later, I feel like that was a more unique freedom than some of my friends that I talked to when I got older, who grew up maybe in a more like, oh, this is what we listen to. Yeah. Like, there were people, like, there would be colleagues that I might talk to at the job who'd be like, yo, I'm not listening to no R&B. I'm not listening to Summer Walker if I'm in the car with my guys. Like, that's like a faux pas. Like, but we never grew up like, we didn't have that.
I'm cranking it.
Yeah, like it's good, whatever it is, we love it. If it's, it's whatever. Like, so we didn't have some of those social barriers, I think, too, of like, we only listen to this over here, or, yo, you can't listen to that. You got to listen to that in your own room. We didn't have that. So we really got to and I hope that I get to continue that with my own lineage too. For sure. So yeah, that's a few.
It sounds like the crossover is that y'all both are early influenced by gospel.
That's the core for me.
And then there's this exploration starting in early adolescence, early teens of R&B and hip hop, and then rock, and this broadening, this branching out, which I do think is a unique experience. I think so often music is a tie to identity, and in a underdeveloped sense of identity, I can't listen to rock, or I can't listen to Summer Walker because I'm a man, I'm in the car. Right. And y'all had this unique experience of, no, I'm listening to rock and I'm bumping this dope artist in the car because I'm not thinking about how the world is perceiving me in this moment. I'm just exploring. Yeah. I have a running joke. I don't think the people wouldn't know this. My running joke is I must have skipped church the day that the musical Anointing came down. Yeah. Because like everybody, so listen, we grew up in a church. These two go to the church. Wayne goes to the church. Wayne raps. He don't act like he does.
He was rapping like that. Yeah.
Singers, rappers here. Brian, which is Kyle's big brother, phenomenal singer. He actually performed at the first County Jawn. Josh, drums. Most of these people play extra instruments, and I'm a poet. I'll be like, what? I skipped church. I wasn't there. The oil didn't hit me that day.
It's the same thing.
No, I think creatively some oil was there, but musically, Holy Spirit was so I want to move forward and continue in the vein of y'all upbringing, I've got to see a lot of different iterations of y'all, both as the InGlorious as other things. I think the first one that pops to mind that I have a name for is J-Rock and Babyface.
Yep.
So that's
I wasn't in that.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of that.
that's Ace and another friend Josh.
Yeah,
I remember you and Lael. I don't remember if y'all had a name, but y'all had a couple moments together.
Did she have a?
Because
Because I think you were Babyface with her too.
Little Lay, or something like that.
we
You made
it's
that
all
up.
good.
No, I'm just,
Yeah. But then there's a moment where y'all have an identity form in the reset. Tell us a little bit about that era.
Yes. So before the reset, which was probably our first serious venture, we had empty hot sauce packages, which was a very like silly venture where we were kind of like almost cosplaying some like white rocker guys or something like that.
and also a parody type of way.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, but we liked the music that we were
For sure,
we were doing.
for sure.
But yeah, we have these videos online that hopefully stay in the vault somewhere of us
Empty
just
hot sauce package.
of us just playing like crazy music and singing in the church when we just had the downtime to
time.
do it. So like we had time and space, which is great, and we were just doing stuff that was like silly and fun or whatever. So that was our first kind of that was like just kind of a joke, but as we kept growing, and I think we probably did a performance of a song at church that really started it. I think it was after we did that song "You Found Me," probably when we were like, okay, like maybe we could do something because everybody, our whole fam is at the church, so everybody was like, oh, that was great, man, y'all are amazing. Even though like if we listen back to it today,
It was bad.
Another one that hopefully stays in the vault. If you listen back today, it wasn't good, but we were kids, so they're probably like encouraging us. So the reset comes out of that. And J-Rock and Babyface, who are Ace and Josh, are kind of the front men of that. I always play the guitar, so I just play the guitar. And we had Chris who played bass and Justine who sang, and I think Janine sang sometimes. And so it was just people, our friends that we grew up with who were musical, and we were like, oh, we can kind of like get an identity of some sort. And we liked bands at that time. I think that was during that time where we started getting into like Paramore and like stuff like that. So I think that's where the reset came from. And yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah, that's
our
the whole,
first series
that's the long and short of it.
Okay. So that was the second endeavor in music, Empty Hot Sauce Package. I'm going to keep saying the name so people look it up. Then it's the reset, which is the friend group. The people that y'all were hanging out with, the people that y'all were discovering music. When did, not break off in a bad way, but when did y'all kind of have a sense that it's y'all that would hold on?
Yeah. So Chris broke up the band. He moved. So shout out to Chris. It's his fault.
You hear that, Chris?
But we went to college together. So as we're growing up and stuff like that, we went to Delaware County Community College. We all went together after high school. So we were at the same high school too, but during college is when we were just together all the time. Me, Ace, and Wayne were together a lot. And so I already know music is going to be a big part of my life. So I'm always still writing and making music. And Ace always needs something to sing to. So I think that just basically was what it was. Like whether we were in the piano rooms or whether I was just sending him beats that I made on the Beatmaker app on my phone. We were still doing stuff with the reset. Like we did performances. We still did. But all the while we're still together a lot of the time. And sometimes I'm just sending him something and he's, and we're creating. So I think those were the early stages of the InGlorious. It was 2014, like around that time. And we just kept creating together and then we just didn't stop. Like, I don't know what happened to whatever else or anybody else, but I just know we just didn't stop. And I think we just had something. I think we knew we had something like pretty early on.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was the natural maturation. Chris moves away. people get married, people transition,
Yeah.
people get jobs.
Yeah.
And y'all brotherhood, y'all friendship, and the uniqueness of that friendship. Because even in a friend group, people have different
Yep.
friendships. Y'all friendships kept y'all close.
Yes.
Which then led to the collaboration.
Right.
All right. So before we hop into a time machine and go back, the people, check out our sponsor. The people! Can I tell you a story really quick? So I was working with my Grammy recently, and she really needed to get her estate together. And that's where the law offices of Diane Barr came in clutch. She not only organized, not only made her feel safe, but she did everything that we asked her to do in a timely manner. So if you are looking for a phenomenal lawyer with 30 plus years of experience, tap in with the law offices of Diane Barr. Their link is in our description. All right, so I'm gonna have us hop into a time machine. It is, I believe, August 8th, 2016.
Okay.
And the world is introduced to the InGlorious. Y'all drop a 2-pack,
Okay.
a Drake cover. I did my homework. I was deep in
homework.
I was deep in SoundCloud. Y'all drop a Drake cover and y'all drop this song. Let's listen to it for a second. What has become a fan favorite of y'all's. I mean, speaking French at the beginning of it.
That was a lot.
I can be your private eye, trying to find some private time for you and me, with no love casualties. Or I can be a soldier man, fighting wars from sea to sand for your heart. I can be your private eye, trying to find some private time for you and me, with no love casualties.
Do it a little faster.
Oh,
We slowed it down, baby.
or I can be a soldier man, fighting wars from sea to sea.
I see y'all starting to dissect it. As soon as the song came on, Ace, you smiled. Tell me what that response was.
It's just just thinking back to the times recording it in Kyle's parents' basement.
Then it went from your basement to my basement.
Yeah. The little French I said there in the beginning, just trying to find certain pieces of identity, but also this is just the genesis of a certain chapter of expression. So it's just and I always, when we were doing this the other day, when I listen back to, like, I'm always critiquing myself. So when I'm listening back then, I'm thinking like, okay, I was doing this better, or did I lose a step here? Just the thoughts, and I'm just smiling at myself, just going through that whole process while I'm listening. It sounds good though. I ain't gonna lie.
Sounds
It
good.
did. It did. No, that stands the test of time. I think that was an inflection point in our musicianship and songwriting and stuff like that. And I think all that stuff that we talked about growing up, the music we listened to, the silly times that we were just like kicking it and stuff like that, was practice, like, that we didn't realize we were getting. And so it's like an investment that you're making all these years, and then you're making these songs and you're singing with the reset, and it's good, but like, it wasn't really like, now that I go back and listen to it, it wasn't like good. But then eventually, with anything that you practice and do over and over,
songs slap.
some of them still do. Yeah. But
Don't play now.
to me, this song, the more and more stuff you do, the more practice and reps you put in, there's an inflection point where finally it's like, oh, like, you turn the corner. Okay, now this is something that grown folk. This is a grown song. Like, people like this. who might be younger, people like this who might be older. So I think it was an inflection point for our musicianship and songwriting. And Ace has always been an amazing writer. Like to me, he's my favorite writer. I think the best writer that I know of.
Appreciate that.
And that was like where we turned a corner, or just went up another level, I think, with that song. And still stands the test of time to this day. People love singing that song. And it feels like InGlorious, like very purely like this is InGlorious coded song.
For sure.
Yeah. So Kyle, you were saying it was an inflection point. Ace, you called it a chapter, right? So this is identity you're developing. What would y'all name that chapter?
What would I name that chapter?
Was there a name for that era? I'm trying to think.
Well, you're the writer, so I'll give this one to you.
That was a bus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that chapter is just like the wait, hold on type chapter of everything. Like, hold on, what does this look like? What does this look like? Maybe is the era. That's it, and us figuring out what it looks like to be who we are.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of. I remember a lot of long conversations trying to, balance dream and delusion with the reality of, because we were just in college. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do for the rest of our lives. We were having lots of conversations with our parents and with our other mentors, just trying to figure out what we're going to do. So it was a lot of, is this real? And what does is this real even mean? Because it's like, we're independent. We're not trying to get signed necessarily. We're not trying to do a lot of things, but what does it mean for us to walk in being the InGlorious? What does it mean for us to be successful in doing this? And I think we've done a great job with that so far.
Yeah. I agree.
I love the title "Wait, Hold On" because I think that's a moment that every artist has, where it goes from, like, I think about my artistry and how it is very personal and it's very, this is for me in my moments as I'm processing. And there's like, wait, hold on, is this good? Like, is this ready to be released? Is this ready for the world? And it sounds like that's the question that y'all were exploring at that moment. Wait, hold on. I think we have something here.
Right.
What gave the catalyst for y'all to release at that moment compared to with the reset, compared to 4 years later?
So part of it was, I think I went from being a musician to being a producer. Part of it was that change. So for most of my life, I'm just a musician. I'm just a guitar player, but I still have always been a storyteller. And I think storytelling musically will lead you into production. So I think I got in college when we were together, I got like a beat making app on my phone, which translated to not just guitar playing, but like producing tracks and stuff like that. And then even during the reset phase, we started getting into recording, but we were doing it with his dad, and his dad was the one who would be recording us at his studio. And I was fascinated by all the process of doing all of that stuff. And so I wanted to do it on my own. So I got a laptop and a microphone and some software around 2015, I think. I saved up. I worked at Giant, a grocery store, and I saved up for over a year, to buy my first MacBook in 2015.
Yeah.
Once I got that MacBook, oh wait, it was before the MacBook though, because I used to have Reason on Microsoft, so we were doing it before that.
I think we were still on. Was it?
We were on my Toshiba laptop, and we were recording.
It was
in my
left
mom's
over from
basement.
high school, I think.
Yeah, I think it was because we went to a cyber school.
Was it that PA Cyber laptop?
Yes, it might have been a PA Cyber laptop, or it might have been one that I got right after.
Yeah, it was
because the PA Cyber laptops were always breaking.
they
So.
were terrible.
So anyway, part of it for me was I became more of a producer around that era. So now, like, oh, we can record ourselves. Like, I just have to learn how to do it. So I'm on YouTube University looking up all the videos and stuff. Ace is coming over because we have time, which we just don't have now. We have time, and we're just like recording ideas and stuff like that. So I think that's just kind of a functional part of like why release now, like because now we know how to. And then and then SoundCloud, like we knew about SoundCloud for a long time, but I think that era of SoundCloud rappers and people just releasing music on SoundCloud and stuff, we were like, oh, like we could do it too. We could do it too. Nice. Yeah.
So it's this evolution of how you view yourself. So I'm a musician to now I'm a producer, and the dedication of I want to do this, so let me work. Saving for a year at Giant is wild because
I did. I was hustling.
Dedication to get the laptop to be able to say now we can record
right
on a more professional level. And then y'all did something that I love when artists do. I was just talking to Synovia about this because she did something similar. Y'all revisited this song recently, or maybe not recently, 2022 for So What Have We Learned? What made y'all revisit the song?
Because it's just, it's one of those ones. I feel like the song there's something very transcendent and ethereal about the song. Like, I feel like
ethereal is a college word.
It just speaks to a certain vibration that I feel like we all tap into, like beyond even emotion. Like I feel like it's down to, and we know that music and frequency is down. It affects us on a molecular level, but I feel like the way that song resonates, it's something that is just, I don't know. I think that's one of those songs that we pull straight from the energy that is music, like that is not necessarily tangible. You can't pick it up. You can't, I can't toss it to you, but you can still feel it. It can still be manipulated. It can still be moved. It can still be shaped. But it's like I don't know. It's just like a very unique, cyclical experience, and I think that song came from that.
Yeah. The other thing too is that So What Have We Learned? That album that we came out with in 2022, it was our first album, and so we've been learning about music and about reach all this time, realizing that that song has been out for a long time, but nobody's heard it actually. Right. Like, you think that people have heard it because it's been out for so long, but in reality, nobody's heard that song. Yeah. So, except for when we play it at shows, and then people are like, "Yo, what's that song?" Yeah. So, in reality, like, nobody had heard that song. So we put it on our first album because we had never officially released it on any digital streaming platform where somebody could put it in their phone or whatever. And we're still learning that even now. Even now, we're realizing, like, yo, just because you put something on DSPs, that don't mean people heard it either. Right. Like, and you might think everybody's heard the song, but you got to keep pushing it. You got to keep, doing the song and dance to get out there on Beyonce's internet and to like make your name known or your music known. So we struggle with that even now when we're playing concerts. Like, yo, we gonna do this song again? Well, yes, nobody's heard it. Yeah, so like it. So yeah, but it's weird because I've heard it, but yeah.
It sounds like there's two trains running at this moment. There's the energy train that the song still feels relevant, still feels timeless, still feels like it belongs in the space. And also this like really practical business side of nobody's heard this yet, and this is one of our songs that we believe that people should hear, so we're going to keep putting it there. 100%. Y'all have another song that's like that. I don't know if you remember this conversation, Ace. We went to Landmark's not even there anymore. We went to Landmark years ago.
Wait, Landmark's not there anymore.
No.
Westchester.
The one in Westchester.
Westchester. Okay. I remember
and I was talking to you about your music, and I said Wedding Plan should be on every album from this point forward. It is such a it feels like it's timeless in that it captures love beautifully, and it also feels very millennial in terms of some of the lyrics. I want to read some of the lyrics real quick.
Okay.
Woke up to a dream that never ends. Eating breakfast in bed with your best friend. This part feels millennial. Nick Jr. on the tube with the sunrise. Because I done woken up to Nick Jr. so many times. Don't it feel like forever? Did you stop time? Beautiful. And you have another set of lyrics. Again, these are some of my favorite lyrics, period. You know real love don't come with conditions. Both brokenhearted, but together we fix it. Digging deep wells so you know where to draw from. Show me your hideaway. Here's my devotion. What did y'all draw from for these beautiful lyrics?
Another inflection point, I think, in our songwriting when we did that song.
That was during a time where experience started to play a huge role in what we were, as far as, and when I say experience, I mean like before that we weren't, like I wasn't dating. I wasn't, I had, girlfriends, partners, whatever you want to call it, crushes, but it wasn't ever to a super deep level. It was on like a high school level. But this was in college when like I had my first started to have my first real experiences with like, love just doesn't mean we just, go get some food, have a good time. Oh, we watch the show together. Or we do these things. Like it's not a highlight reel of just us doing fun things together. Yeah. Like it's real work. Like it's real. I have to choose you every day. You have to choose me. We have to die to ourselves in certain parts, like the parts of us that make it hard for partnership. Like, humans are selfish. But like, I think like Kyle said, like that was a point where it's like, oh, like I'm hurt. Like, or like, I really love you. Like, or like, yo, I see why people say love makes you insane. Or I see why people say this is depressing. Or like, I see why this is the greatest joy ever. Like, it was just starting to feel some of those things, and it started to translate into the music.
Yeah. That's so, even though our music, I do call it like existential R&B and stuff like that, like you can start to see when you can kind of feel it when our music is being influenced by our relationships. And we had some kind of synced up moments with things, with like relationships ending at a similar time or beginning at a similar time.
Yeah.
And so there's a few songs on that project that are all right, this is actually coming from your own personal experience, and that was one of them. And that's that this is grown music. Like, all right, we've stepped out of the some of our younger themes, and we're experiencing life, and we're experiencing some of these like very adult or grown emotions and feelings and stuff like that, and it comes out in the music. So it's like a little time capsule.
Yeah, I wrote that song after a breakup, actually.
Okay,
like that was
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, that was post breakup. Like still trying to get back.
Yeah, post breakup, thinking about the what could have been.
What it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
at that moment.
It's really interesting as an artist, that moment. Like, I think my best poem is The Art of Our Love, and it is the poem that I used to propose to my wife or my ex-wife. And it's so interesting that like that is still such a beautiful poem. It's still a poem that the crowd responds well to. It's still like one of the things that people know me by, and it's such a mixed memory now. It's like, man, I was in my bag, and also I don't know that person anymore. What is it like for y'all to perform and live with these intimate moments that I'm on stage singing this? You sang it at your most recent show at City Winery. What is that process like for you?
That's a great question for him to answer.
Performing is when, for me, everything reaches a certain level of harmony, where it's like, because the way I look at a lot of those very deep places and those heartache and heartbreak and all of that other good stuff, like it all taught me a lot.
Yeah.
A lot about myself. Those experiences are pieces of me. Like they made me. Because we're continually being made, and the cement dries as we go. So, like up there, that's when I feel like is the safest space where I can feel all of those things. And a lot of people say they can see me feeling all of those things, and where people can relate to, you know, the emotions that they feel in the music. But yeah, it's just really, I love it. It's my like, this is who I am in all of it. Like,
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all, to me, that experience is very beautiful and very, like, I don't take any regret or any real negative emotion, even though there's hurt there, even though there's trauma there, even though there's all of those other things along with the joy I feel from performing. Like it's all together, just a release of who I am. Like this is who I am. This is the purest form of who I am.
That's beautiful. It gives you that space to be you, be authentic, and feel as you're going through it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you think you grew? How do you think you grew to that moment? Because I also know you to be reticent or hesitant to perform certain songs, or sometimes you're like, I don't want to do that song, or I'm not in that place anymore, so you may not feel like you connect with that, or that's what I've heard you say in the past.
For sure.
So how do you?
I think there comes a point where you realize, like, I'm my own worst enemy by trying to control certain narratives and hold on to certain emotions or feelings about certain experiences that I've had. Like, it was what it was. It made me, in that moment, I carried it here, and it, you know, it just, like, and it's still I'm a work in progress. It's not like I'm getting up there and it's just like I turn into a being of light, and it's like this is who I am. Like it's still there's still certain songs where I still, like you said, like say, do I want to do this? But then I do have an anchor thought where it's just like like this is part of who I am. This is, like, feel it. Like it's okay to feel these things. Like, you know.
Yeah. And I imagine that's the humanity in all of it. That because we're constantly evolving, there are days that it's harder. There are days it's like, actually, I don't think I want to touch that today. Or in this season, I know I've recently, because of some of my own artistic journeys, been revisiting my last book. And some of the poems, I'm like, yo, I'm ready to put this on stage. And some stuff is still like, I'm going to hold off on that one for a little while longer as I'm still developing through it. Because either I said something that is maybe more real than what I'm willing to show in front of people. That level of vulnerability is like, or I'm like, man, I don't stand on that anymore, and I need to work on how I see it. So I imagine there's that kind of constant process of how is, because art is living, how is it influencing me or impacting me? Y'all have so much music that I could spend, I could do a dissertation on it. I want to do two things. What order do I want to do them in? I want to do three things, and we got 15 minutes. All right. So what have we learned? There is a song, and I've never heard y'all talk about this, and it is one of the dopest things I've ever heard. One of you sampled your parent. Super dope. Tell us about the development of We Could Be Lovers, the clearance of the sample, which one of y'all parents it is. I think we already kind of got there, but yeah.
So that song was, I think, in our circle, like one of those songs that was like
passed around in the group chat.
Like once we found that on YouTube, because my dad doesn't particularly. He's a very humble man. He doesn't boast a lot. He doesn't typically talk too much about certain things from certain chapters.
Yeah, if you don't know, he's a minister. He's
Right.
He's a pastor. He's a pastor.
Right.
He's a
So,
pastor.
and it's not to say like it's super crazy, because it wasn't like anything like that, but like just his R&B era, his R&B pen era and performance and ghostwriter and all that. But I don't know. Kyle started cooking one day because like I said, we always were talking about that song, and we were trying to explore different feels, different sounds. And so Kyle cooked up that beat.
Yep.
And it was just like it was also a place like where we're feeling more. Every turn is like I feel more and more comfortable with who I am. I feel more and more uncomfortable expressing certain things and different ideas. So, and that's how I came. And I thought it would be an amazing idea for us to sample my dad. He was very bashful about it, but I appreciate him for allowing us to do that. It's as far as I don't even know. It's cleared, right? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I assume so.
I would hope so.
It's clear.
It's good. We good.
I'm gonna say it's good. Yeah, it was good. It was dope. It was dope. I love hearing that and hearing his dad croon and do his thing in that era. And I was like, yo, we gotta like pay homage to,
for sure.
He's very important in my. His dad is very important in my life too as a musician. So it was dope to do. So I'm really happy that it came. Not only we did it, it came out and it's a very well received song. People love it.
Yeah,
like,
it's a great song.
People go up when they hear "We Can Be Lovers." So
I think it's a beautiful homage. I think there's something it's really beautiful to have that legacy in your family as well. That often, like, sampling is such a part of the culture, but to be able to say something this dope, I was able to sample from my dad and from my music teacher that's an embarrassment of riches.
Sure.
As you were
sure.
talking, it made me think though, what is the creative process between y'all? So in that case, Kyle cooked something up and you wrote, but what does it typically look like?
There is no typical. There's a few different things we've kind of settled into, like, because we started creating like real like Kyle's sending me Logic files and different things like that. That was happening more while we were at college, like after Delco, like when we went away to, like, I was at Westchester, Kyle was at Temple. It was a lot of, yo, I sent you this, and then me in my quiet time just writing whatever I was going through, or if I was inspired, whatever. But then there's also the many years of, like Kyle was talking about earlier, where we just sit, Kyle with his guitar, Kyle with the piano, sometimes us with nothing, and we just come up with something, and that is tried and true. That's always going to be, how a lot of the best things we come up with happen, but we just, like, we're grown men. We don't got time to do that all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's the Kyle comes up with a whole idea, and then we build on that, or I come up with a whole idea and we build on that. So it's just really just a symbiotic process where whatever happens, we know what happens next with some of those things. Like, I came up with this idea, boom, or he came up with this idea, boom, we're together, boom. Like, it's just, there's just different things where we can expect some sort of very potent creation to happen.
That's dope.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. We're going to close. I have 2 closing questions, and then we're going to jump into the lightning round. So y'all are publicly a decade in. It sounds like privately closer to 2 decades in. I'm not calling us old, but
You definitely are.
We're seasoned.
I got these gray hairs in my beard. So what would you tell the younger version of y'all about this journey? Or in other words, so what have y'all learned?
Oh, you cook it. You
That's
cook
a good
it.
question.
I would tell my younger self, it's tricky because I don't want to take any gold away. Like, I love what I did, but there might be some things that I would want to add, but then would those things mess up something else? I think about, but one of the things I think about myself as a younger musician and creator would be connect yourself to people who are not just amazingly creative, chaotic beings, but connect yourself to people who understand how to build structures around your creativity. Because I think we're both chaotic creatives, and sometimes you need a sense of organization and direction to maybe cast vision on where you want to go, or to just even set up organizational structures. Okay, if you do have a vision, here's step by step how you get there.
For sure.
And I think we're learning more of those things now. And those are very functional things, like how to present yourself and how to get in front of eyes and how to get more people to hear you and stuff like that. They're very organized structural things, like setting a schedule and content calendar, like all those kind of things that I think are very beneficial. And sometimes when you pair really creative people with people who are extremely good with that, it's like a match made in heaven, because now you're generating this machine.
For sure.
So we've had to kind of become those people. I don't think we ever connected necessarily with a third party person who was like, yo, let me be our organizational engine and stuff like that. So we just kind of like do our creative, chaotic thing and pick up little things along the way. So I wouldn't tell myself to become that person, but I might tell myself like, oh, like
Find
look
that person.
Look out for people. Like that's a necessary thing. Like what you're doing, that's a fire beat, bro. But
Agreed.
Go find somebody who like will show you how to put it on BeatStars, or like I don't know, just something like that.
For sure.
Without squashing the creativity part, because you got to keep that. But
definitely echoing what Kyle is saying about the structure. I would definitely stress just probably the same thing my dad stressed, like just be a little bit more disciplined, like be intentional. Like it's not something you're doing for somebody else, you're doing it for yourself. Like I would really stress how much of the process will become the progress of who you are. Like and then I would also just, because I grew up, I was a shy kid for a lot of things. There's still a lot of, when it comes, like I was talking about earlier, when it comes to creation and then presenting that stuff, is like it's a lot of sensitive stuff. So like I'm still self-conscious about some of the things I create, some of the things I say, some of the ideas. But I would just tell my younger self like to really, really embrace fear. Like fear is your friend. Like it's okay. Like this will, because as I've learned and grown, like fear has really been the embers of the flames of a lot of things that have been like amazing for me. And not to say like, you know, go back and put myself in like a fear state, like as a young boy, like make myself more anxious or more any of that, but really just like, and I would understand because it's me, of course, but this really like add a sense of calm to the whole. Like, yes, you're scared of these things. Yes, you're scared of being yourself, or like being this part of yourself. But embrace it, because like it's beautiful.
I think those are all beautiful things. I'm gonna talk to the camera real quick, to the people that are listening, to the artists that are listening. Find your team. That is cool to be creative. We need that creativity, but without the structure, where's that creativity going?
Sure.
The process is the progress. That if we do not have a clear process of how we do this, that we are disciplined, we get up and we're doing this for us. We're not doing this for the streams. We're not doing this for the fans that show up. I'm creating because I need to create. Then where are we going to go? And then I like that. The fear is the ember to the flames. That I think we live in a time where we pathologize so much of what we're experiencing, that fear is such a natural thing, but it also speaks to like the heightened emotion that's in that moment, and we can harness that. I think those are beautiful things. So thank y'all for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
So y'all have been a part of, so this is technically show 7.
Okay.
As a curator, I call this show 5 because like the first show when we go beyond proof of concept is the one at Ardmore Music Hall.
Right.
So y'all did Room 55, really dope. thank all y'all for showing up. But then y'all did Ardmore Music Hall, our first like, yo, we are a concert series. Y'all have probably like my favorite first 2 songs of any artist to ever come out. Y'all came in with Sure Thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then y'all had the nerve to double down and hit Footsteps in the Dark.
Right.
So y'all was like, millennials, I got y'all.
For sure.
Gen X, I'm on y'all next too. What was your expectations of that first show at Ardmore Music Hall?
We, I think we were purposeful in picking those 2 songs for the reason that you're talking about. Like, we are storytellers, and I feel like we know how to produce a good time.
Yeah.
Like, and so you got to think about it. Like, it's the way that a DJ would, I guess, would think, which is like, you want to follow the energy of the room. So if you're creating the energy, like, where is it telling you to go next and stuff like that? And then we were thinking about our set and what are our songs like and stuff like that. And then just the idea of like, hey, people don't know your songs, but they know these songs. Yeah. And so you got to get the people started. You got to get the people going. So all those things we were thinking about. And there's songs that Sace just sounds great singing on too. And a lot of times we play songs. I've played songs for people and they'd be like, "Oh, you sound like Miguel," like which is funny. They'll say Miguel or Lucky Day. I hear a lot of our music sounds like. So I think part of the process of picking those songs was like, let's get some covers that we're gonna open up and we're just gonna like bang bang hit them and get the people singing. Like, that's the thing. Once we have people singing along and are into it, then we're like, okay, we got them. Now maybe they'll slow down and pay attention to this song that we're about to sing that's about my personal tragedies or like whatever. But you have to entertain, so we understand what it is to entertain. I like entertaining. I'm a teacher. Teachers are and have to be entertainers. Yeah, inherently. And we grew up with a lot of entertainment. Like his dad was an entertainer. Yeah. And when we were kids, we had adults who like put on skits and dressed up, and they did like dressed up in costumes and sang songs at our summer camps and stuff like that. So we're used to being entertained. I think that's in us. So we want to entertain as much as we want to, like, I want y'all to hear our music. I want you to feel what we're feeling, but got to entertain the people. So I think that was our thing that we wanted to do.
100%.
Yeah. Now I think the County Jawn is unique in that we have curated an audience that ranges from millennial. Our youngest is usually around 21. Our oldest is usually mid 80s. It's my Grammy. I love her. She be having notes. Yeah, she be having notes after every show. It's too loud. How does having that experience at the last County Jawn that y'all were a part of influence your approach to this coming show, June 20th?
That's a good show. That's a good question. Because that's in my top 3 performances of that we've ever done. The way I think about it is there's a way I want the audience to feel, and then there's a way I want to feel. Yeah. And when we did the last County Jawn, I feel like I got the perfect combination of both. I felt so freed up during that performance, and I feel like it sounded good in my ears. Like that has to be a must. The music, the sound sounded good, and then I felt like the people responded in the way that I thought that they would for our music, and so that's how we're thinking about it again. We know the venue. The venue's incredible. Like the show that you put on, we already know is amazing and efficient, and is like, it's not you do certain shows and it's just like kind of like a little slouchy. Like there's no slouch. It's like it's one of the shows that you're like, okay, we have to come with something that's very intentional, very professional, and we want it to really come across. So I think your question, I'm sorry, I might have got off your question. I think it was, how does the last show influence what your approach to this show?
Yeah. You answered it.
Yeah, I think I think that's what it is. It's just understanding what the County Jawn is and how from a very early stage it was run very well, and it's just very well done. And you think about those things that I would think about as a producer and as a person who puts on the show. Yeah. To entertain people, it's all there. So if you're on the stage, you really need to come with it. And since we've been there, there have been some really great performers that have come that have come after. So I feel like we gotta like kick it up a notch too to just match the rising, like, you know, our other artists that have graced that stage too. Because we're different now.
Yeah, for sure.
We're better.
Cool. All right, so this is the lightning round. These are the rules. I'm going to ask y'all questions. First thought that pops to your mind, don't filibuster. I will make fun of you. All right. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Biggest inspiration.
You said dance inspiration?
Biggest inspiration.
Father.
Not dance inspiration.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
First thought that came to my mind.
It's a great one.
I said father.
Father. Okay, cool. If you could share the stage with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Frank Ocean.
Okay, cool. Favorite cover to perform?
Right now, Olivia Dean's Another Minute.
Oh, okay.
It might be that one. A couple minutes. Same for me.
Same for you. All right. I'm going to make you choose between your children. Your favorite song of yours to perform?
Find Earth.
Okay.
That's
Ad Astra, I think.
Okay.
Ad Astra.
So this is different for both of y'all, or maybe it's the same. So Ace, you have to choose only one. Mm-hmm. It's either your pen or your performance. Which do you choose?
My pen.
Your pen. Kyle, it's either your instrument or your performance. Which do you choose?
My instrument.
Bad.
Somebody else can perform it.
All right. So this is the last one. I need y'all to use y'all imagination for this one.
Okay.
It's June 20th. Ardmore Music Hall is filled. Mm-hmm. Y'all just wrap up y'all last song. We know that y'all are intentional, so y'all think about things like this. Mm-hmm. What is the one word you want the people to say?
Yum.
Okay.
Gross. No, what's the one word I want people to say? Damn. Can I say that?
Is that
you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a word? A word is not a is not a word, but that's
Okay.
Yeah,
like
but I want the damn to be in the mode of that, like, damn. All right. Not like you're angry.
Damn.
The people. So y'all heard it here. The InGlorious wants y'all to say, damn. So that means y'all got to meet us there June 20th, Ardmore Music Hall. We got the InGlorious. We got Synovia. We got Dan Good. We got me. We got Magina. There's going to be a harpist there. The only thing we need is you. Make sure y'all are in the place.